All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti kick back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. We got a fire one. We coming behind the Etruscans. We gonna tap into the Phoenician power, the African Canaanite Phoenicians, and deal with the mighty African empire of Phoenicia, the true African inhabitants of Israel. You see, before the Israelites, you know, just like when you go into Italy before the Romans, it was the Etruscans. And so we're looking at the original inhabitants, African inhabitants of all these nations. And the document is there, and we're going to bring them forth today. Before we get started, I want to make sure y'all get on over there to the General's Patreon and become a patron, get access to over 500 exclusive live streams, all fire. That's right. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti DVDs, t-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry. Link right down in the chat. You can also become a member of my YouTube page. That's right. The link is right there on my home page. Get access to a lot of materials on YouTube, exclusive materials on YouTube, and get a video a thumbs up, family. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. Comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. All right. And man, I seen one of my cousins come on and become a member. Where he at? He probably went to sleep. He probably didn't went to sleep for so long. Where was it? Let me see. There you go, right there. He came on there. He ain't up. He probably went to sleep. But anyway, I'm gonna put his name up there and give him a shout out. Rafi Blunt. He is in the house. If you don't say I ain't give you a shout out, so you're on here. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, family, let's get into the Phoenicians, and I'm gonna show y'all that we're not making this up. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all that we're not making this up. That we know that they are African people. Okay, and we're gonna look at the documentations, and you can run and hide from the truth. It ain't gonna do you no good. You might as well just go on and accept it. Okay, you might as well go on and accept it and deal with the truth. Okay. Nah, of course, we just showed that these are some. Well, I don't have it up there yet. I don't have it up there yet. Let me see. Here we go. We're gonna pop it in real quick. There you go. Okay. So now what we dealing with? Now the Phoenicians were one of the came through one of the sons of Canaan, which is Sidon. Okay, I believe Sidon was his oldest son, and then even the Hittites come through his son Heth. So the original Hittites were African people, and what they became later on, I don't, like everything, once the European come in and conquer, they usurp, and that's exactly what they said, that they usurped all the names and took over the language and everything. And so today you looking at the usurpers of the original African culture and religion. But we're gonna look at as we look at the genealogy, of the Bible, you see, of course, you see Canaan, you see Cush, that Canaan is the brother of Cush, Ethiopia. That's a fact. You see, that's something clear that they brothers in the Bible. Mizraim, Egypt, is brother of Ethiopia, Cush. And we're gonna show you that in Jew in the Ashkenazi Jew uh, uh, sphere of understanding, that Cush is a derogatory term. Yes, it's a derogatory. When they call you Cushy, that's like them calling you the N word. You see, that's just like them calling, and I can verify that. So so they understand in the Bible, and that's why Egypt is heavily looked at as the bad guy in all the Bible. Egypt is the big boogeyman, you know. And so everything, the fall of talks about the fall of in Babylon, another one of them, which was the city of the Kushites of Mesopotamia under Nimrod, you see, and that's you can see right there, Nimrod under Cush, under Ethiopia. You see, and Nimrod would go on to form Sumeria, Mesopotamia. And so the Bible clearly states that Sumeria came after Egypt, but then you got a lot of people confused about that. You know, a lot of people is confused about that. And you go over to Canaan and you see Sidon, and it's from Sidon, the first son of Canaan, where uh you get the Phoenicians. Okay. That's where you get the Phoenicians from the first son of Canaan, Sidon. Okay. Now what we gonna look up? Matter of fact, let me see what I want to bring up. Okay. Well, this is just some the definition out the biblical. Let me bring it. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. You see, inhabitants of Canaan, the Canaanite. Canaan is the fourth son of Ham and father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jezubite. And people don't know that Jerusalem is named after Jebus. You see, so all of this is, but now let's go straight to the meat. Let's go straight to the meat so you know exactly what they think about. Now, Dr. Ben was the first one that brought this out to me. Now, you could get this reference out of his book, the African Origins of Western Religions. That's the book where I got this documentation out of his book, and it's been verified in other books, and this comes out of the Talmud. This is the book, the holy book of the Orthodox Jews. Okay. And so believe this when I read it. Now I cannot beget the fourth son whose children I would have ordered to serve you and your brothers. Listen, listen. Therefore, it must be Canaan talking to Ham. This is Noah talking to Ham. Therefore, it must be Canaan, your firstborn, whom they enslave. And since you have disabled me, doing ugly things in blackness of night, Canaan's children shall be born ugly and black. This is in the Talmud now. This is wow. This is the Orthodox Jews' holy book that Moreover, because you twisted your head around to see my nakedness, your grandchildren's hair shall be twisted into kinks and their eyes red. Again, because your lips jested at my misfortune, theirs shall swell. And because you neglected my nakedness, they shall go naked, and their male members shall be shamefully elongated. What kind? Boy, do you hear what I'm trying to tell you? You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Men of this race, listen, are called Negroes. Their forefather Canaan commanded them to love theft and fornication, to be banded together in hatred of their masters, and never tell the truth. So right here, so when we talk about Judaism, we're going straight I go straight to the heart of the matter. I don't play no game. So they know that the Canaanites, the Phoenicians, are Africans. Okay. They've written about it many, many times before. You see, and the fact that the Phoenicians were so close to the Etruscans is why they've been written out of history. It ain't no reason. People act like they don't know why. They know why they've been written out of history. Nah, let me see. You can't. Let me make sure y'all can see the whole thing. You see, let me make sure y'all can see the whole thing. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go to the side, but it look better when it's at the bottom. You know, it's a little bigger. It's a little bigger. Now check this out. This is also coming out of the Talmud. You see, listen to this, and you can look it up right there. Talmud, MS, I believe that's Masoretic. I don't know, MAS dot Sahedrin, and it gives you 108b, and it says, "Listen, our rabbis taught 3 copulated in the ark. They were all punished: the dog, the raven, and Ham. The dog was doomed to be tied. The raven expirates his seed into his mate's mouth, and Ham was smitten in his skin." Do you hear that? This is in at this. This is out of the Talmud. This is the Sanhedrin. So they even know that Ham was black. So for anybody that's confused about that, then we're not making this up. We know I'm going straight to the heart of the matter. So you can look this up. Also coming out of the Sanhedrin, Talmud, MAS, period, Sanhedrin 108b footnote. Listen what it say. 34, i.e., from him, talking about Ham, from him descended Cush, the Negro, who is black skinned. Okay. So when you go in there and we get to talking about Egypt, they know Egypt was black. Okay. This is foolery. This is foolery at this point because this is all documented, been documented. Okay. They wish they hadn't did it because now it's coming back to bite them. You see, this is in the Sahedrin. This is also, and so wait a minute, where the other one at? Even though they saying, even though it's not in the Bible, it is in the Talmud. So I just wanted to bring that forth, that we know exactly what we saying, that Ham is black, that Cush is black, Egypt is also, and that's why Egypt been cursed so much in the Bible, because they are considered to be a black race. You see, to be considered a black race. And so let me get here. Now you can see here the Carthaginians, how much land they control. A lot of people don't know that, they control the whole of the Mediterranean. At the height of, and the Carthaginians are Phoenicians. They left, they're Canaanite. They refer to themselves as Canaanites. You see, they refer to themselves as Canaanites. So even in their writings and even on their coinage, they refer to themselves as Canaanites, that they come from Canaan. So that right there again is another reason why we must, because if they would have honored Carthage. They didn't honor Carthage, they honored Rome. They honored Rome. Carthage was the one that was, again, the spearhead. Carthage was the spearhead. The Etruscans were also was the spearhead, but the Carthaginians controlled the whole of the Mediterranean. You could even see where they control a large part of what today is Spain, Portugal, all across northern Africa, into the islands, Sicily. What other islands? What is that? Sicily. I know that one over there is. I forget, Sardinia. I believe that one is Sardinia. So all of them islands in what we call the Mediterranean belong to the Carthaginian, which the Sahedrin has identified as Negroes, as Negroes. So I don't want nobody to up and think that we just making this up out of nowhere. No, this is not what we're doing. We're offering verifiable facts coming from a lot of the people, and it's crazy. Unless you get a Dr. Ben or somebody, Dr. Ben was the first one I even heard mention the Talmud, you know, because he was of the Jewish faith. So he brought all that information to the people, on that level. I've never heard of the Talmud. But the fact is, even in that, they acknowledge that the Egyptians are a black race. They are African. Ain't no in betweens about it. Okay, ain't no in betweens about it. And so let me come down here. Nah, when you looking at this is the alphabetic tree, that show you, how the languages came to be. Okay, how the languages came to be. So you got what they call Proto Canaanite, Egyptian. Okay, let's just that's the Demotic. The Demotic script is what and so out of the demonic script came the Phoenician. And out of the Phoenician came Aramaic, Syriac, Hebrew, Nabatean, Arabic, Persian, Etruscan, Latin, Archaic Greek, Old Hebrew, Proto-Arabic, Southern Arabian, Ethiopian. You see, now I ain't gonna go so much with that, because the Ethiopian is of ancient stock. You see, of ancient stock, way more ancient than the Phoenician. So we just got to deal with that. Even the Bible speaks to that. You talking about Ethiopia was one of the brothers of Egypt and Cush. You don't see Sidon is a child of Canaan. So how is you gonna put the Canaanite over the Ethiopian? I mean, or the Phoenician over the Ethiopian? That's chronologically out of order. You see, that's chronologically out of order. That's not true. So that's about the only one I don't agree with. But it show you that the Hebrew, the Syriac, the Aramaic, the Arabic, the Persian, the Etruscan, the Latin, the Greek, the Old Hebrew, all of that come up out of the Phoenician. Okay, that's where they learn an alphabet from. Okay, period. And that speaks that again when you talk about I was watching this show and these two rabbis, they was talking about what is that called Kabbalism, and they was talking about how God created the world and that he spoke the world into existence. And one of the rabbis looked over at the other rabbi and said, well, what language did he speak when he spoke it into existence? And the other rabbi say, of course, Hebrew. Now, once you understand how the language is developed, how the hell he gonna use Hebrew before it's even been created? You see, how's God gonna use Hebrew before it was ever created? It wasn't no Hebrew. It was Phoenician. When they went into Canaan, they were speaking Canaanite. They wasn't speaking no Hebrew. Hebrew is never been mentioned in the Bible. It was called the language of Canaan. And once you understand that, I'm sitting up here listening to him, and he say, "Well, how did he create? What language did he use?" He said, of course, he used Hebrew. That's exactly what he said. No, he didn't. You lying. And it wouldn't have took nothing but a novice researcher to put him in a headlock. You see, a novice researcher could have put him in a headlock, but see, this is what they're getting away with, you know, by, our people not doing, studying self, going for self, getting some knowledge of self one way or another, and, only thing we ever had is knowledge of them from first grade all the way to the PhD. You learning about them. You ain't getting no information about self, and that ain't on them to teach it to you. Neither. It's on you to get, to do whatever you got to do to educate yourself in whatever tools you got available to you. Is on you to educate yourself about your own culture, about your own people. It's not on them. But at the same time, studying your enemy and studying yourself. You got to study your enemy. That's what the art of war say. And you're gonna always have a one up, you're gonna have a one up because he ain't gonna know our history. He just gonna know that fabricated information. And that most of the time, when you come with the information that the references that even of their own people, they unaware of that information. It ties them up in knots because they don't know how to accept that because they thinking that we are always just creating something ourselves. The reality is a lot of these references is their own people. They got to stop quit talking to all this African shit. They're just like the people they're talking about the Olmecs. They say, oh, black people's is making all it. The man who found it was a Mexican. He said they was African until they got on his head. And they said, he wrote that they was that, but most of them wrote it, and then they changed it. Oh, well, we didn't know this. And so we thought that it was African, but no, it's not African. They come back and revise their statements, but we got the literature that's when they first saw it, the impact that it had on them when they first saw it, they acknowledged that it was African. They acknowledged that it was African. And so, the fact that they keep is they fleeing from reality that their own people have not already acknowledged these facts. And so the first inhabitants of what today they call Israel were African people. That's a fact. That's a fact. And they books verify that. And we are no longer playing games with these people. We're no longer playing games with these people. We're gonna drop the facts and like fire, hot fire, and we're gonna leave it there. I don't argue with nobody. I'm long gone from arguing with somebody. I know I got you. You see what I'm saying? I know I got you. So I ain't gonna even play with you. And that's why they don't even come to me. I'm one of the only ones they do not come to because they know I got everything I need to defeat them. You see? But anyway, family, this is General. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. Make sure you share the video. Get over there to Patreon. We got some extra fire. If you want some extra fire, get on over there. Get on over there to Patreon and get that work. You see what I'm saying? Let me see we got any. What up, Rafi? You in the house, man? I ain't even see you. He is in there. What you doing in there, boy? I had to come in. What is it? 12:30. You still in there? What you doing out there, boy? Yeah, I seen. I didn't. You know what? I seen he was over there. Yeah, I seen. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I see he was over there, and they ain't gonna be comfortable about him going on. They ain't gonna be comfortable. They wasn't comfortable when we was over there. When you get to asking certain things. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the whole thing tonight. I'm gonna sit down and watch the whole thing tonight. So y'all, I appreciate y'all family being in here, man. We're gonna let's see. We got one more. You say is one. Tig raise. Who said it's 12? It depends on where you at. He says 12 is 1:30, not 12. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It depends on where you at. Ray says it's 1:30. It's time for him to go and get his nighty night. You see, yeah, it's time. Ray, hey, what up, though? What up, though? What up, though, Fee? What's going on? Ray say it's time for him to get his nightcap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I already know. Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. The information we gonna get. Oh, you say you got your hip side. I already know that you ain't got to say no more. I wouldn't even, I'd have been asleep. Shit, I'd have been asleep 4 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? And you say you got a, what, it's 145 in DC. Okay. I'm in an undisclosed location, and it's around that same time. It's around that same time. It's crazy how time, as you come across them zones and shit, that change, the time change. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That sun just moving across the earth, in segments and things of that nature. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I know it's late. I'm gonna start back up early tomorrow. I got the one on that temple ball back. I want, yeah, you say I stay off grid. You already know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna get on that ball back early tomorrow. I promise y'all I'm gonna get. So if y'all got lunchtime, if y'all want the wisdom and knowledge, you see what I'm saying? Come on in here, right? Right around that time, and we're gonna get on that ball back. Now, before we get off here, you gonna want to know about that temple, because the temple is man, it's a megalithic temple, but they use Africans and for Phoenicians to build that temple. Okay, and man, the level on which they build that temple, man, the columns is like 82 feet, and they got slabs of granite out there, man, that's over 1,000 tons. And so we're gonna talk about that. The Romans contracted the Egyptians to build that temple, and I got the documentation to prove it. But y'all want to check that out, and we're gonna do that early tomorrow. We're gonna keep some fire moving, for the family. Do your research. That's all I can tell you. Go behind me, do the research. I give you references. I gave you references today. Go behind me. The Talmud, look it up. The Canaanites are Africans. The Phoenicians are Africans. The Carthaginians are Africans. This come out of their own mouth. They know this to be true. The Etruscans is Africans. The game is up. Family, reconnect with self. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Get over there to Patreon. You got over 500 exclusive live streams full of visuals. You already know. You full of visuals. That's what you want. Get over there and get it. All right, family. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black Power.